and what they shared with you about this past year and then moving forward for next year?
Well, I think the biggest part of those meetings, and I had about a 20-minute meeting with each kid, and I had everything written up that I thought they needed to improve on and work on, and why I didn't think maybe things went as well for them this year. Example, Bird, it's easy to, example, Sherman, what he missed this summer. Example, Delvon. Really, the first half of the year, I thought he was going to be 100%, and all of a sudden, it started going downhill. And so those are easy things to see. With some of them, I thought they have to spend more time on the game. And it's hard to spend time on it when you haven't done anything, maybe half the summer, and then you get into the year and you're kind of concerned. That would be a Kalen, how much extra work do you do? How much are you saving for games? It was mentally draining on me and him to kind of know that. I mean, the paranoias I went through in Maui. I talked about that, but I also talked about how close we were early. In my mind, we should have beat UConn. I mean, no questions asked. And I went over how much free throw shooting was important early. And we regained that and became a pretty good free throw shooting team. But how fragile it is, how the 1 and 2 points can change people's impression of who you are, what you are. And we've got to start embracing that instead of either fearing it or not looking at it.
You said that failure drives you more. How about how about your players? Do you have a read on how they're going to?
I'm going to find out. A lot of them didn't fail much. I mean, when you look at Day and Austin and Delvon, 2 Final Fours, 2 Big Ten championships, not a lot of failure there. So I couldn't sit there and honestly tell you that I'm 100% sure on that, because guys haven't been put in that position. A very, very, very good coach in this country called me during the year and told me I was going to have trouble handling this, but that I just got to work my way through it. Why am I going to have any more trouble handling it than anyone else? Because you haven't been through it a lot in the last 10 years. And you know what? There's some validity to that, and it was almost like Kalen's Achilles, We had no base to judge his improvement on, because it just doesn't happen to many players. Or I have a good base to judge losing on or not meeting expectations, because I got a lot of friends in the profession. But it's one of those, if it doesn't happen to you, I don't think you look at it the same way. And trying to keep, my hardest job all year was trying to keep perspective on injuries, schedule, and time, and where people thought we should be, where I thought we should be, because it really wasn't that different. I mean, I thought we could be a very good team. When Chris went down, I knew it was going to have a serious, but I thought we could overcome that. I really did. But I thought Bird would be playing, and so you subtract the shooter, but you're getting a very good shooter, and then when it came into, September, and we knew he was going to be probably done for the year, but definitely for the non-conference, it was just, things kept adding up, and that was hard, because I didn't want to be one that said, I knew in August we weren't going to be very good, because I thought we were going to be real good. I didn't think we'd be as good without. I think the one thing Chris Allen brought that nobody understands is he was a very good defensive player the last half of that year. I mean, everybody knows, because you can read a stat on his offense, on his three-point shooting, his free throw shooting, but you can't read a stat on his defense. And not a guy that we gave much credit to defensively for 2.5 years. But he did a hell of a job the second half of his junior year, and so all of a sudden we go from that to, and Raymar, we lost a lot in that area, and we didn't have anybody to replace him with. Even Corey wasn't a replacement for that at his size. So that was difficult for me to try to figure out, not make excuses, take the hit, be mad myself, probably madder than the hits were coming, but trying to understand that, yeah, this is reality. I heard, was it Jay Billis the other day, he says, well, is really Georgetown a surprise? They lost a pretty good player for the last 10 out of 12 games or whatever it was, you know, and I was thinking about it because it made so much sense. But when I looked at it from the inside out on my team, it didn't make as much sense. When I look back on it, it makes a lot of sense.
What have you seen out of Alex Ghana?
There's no question, Ghana and Bird, if I would have known that, you know, Nix was going to go through what he went through, I probably wouldn't have redshirted Ghana. He's not going to, nobody's going to be a savior, because there doesn't have to be a savior, but Alex Ghana is a guy that has strength. He's a very good athlete up and down, and he can shoot the basketball. And if there's one issue we had this year, we just didn't have enough guys that could shoot the basketball. And he can shoot it from long range, and he can shoot it in tight. I think he's going to be a pleasant surprise on maybe the fourth heralded of those recruits coming in, maybe the last guy coming in. I think he's going to make serious strides this summer. He had a good redshirt year. He got better. He got to go against everybody. He got to run everybody's offense. I think he's going to help us.
He got leaner too, didn't he? Looked like he lost some. He said he lost 10 pounds. I mean,
I think he lost good weight. Now we'll try to build it up over the summer, get the 10 pounds back, a solid weight, you know. But he is. He runs, like I said, he runs well. He jumps well. It's the lateral quickness that we're going to have to really do some work on this summer. I think that's where he's got to make the most improvement in his game.
What challenge